And oh my God, when I got there, it was the king then me. I was just like, I had 16 armed guards. I was driving my manure. I was the man.
When comedians break Family Feud. What happens when you put two absolute comedy heavyweights, an iconic game show host who is tired of everyone's nonsense, and a family that doesn't even know who is related to who, on the same stage? Total, absolute, chaotic breakdown. Welcome back, guys. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most unhinged, uncut, and legendary episodes of Family Feud. We are talking about the time superstar comedian Joe Coy brought his real family to play against his movie mom, Lydia Gaston, and her, let's call it a very unique family. If you think you've seen Steve Harvey lose his mind before, trust me, you haven't seen anything yet. This episode didn't just derail. It literally flew off the tracks, did a backflip, and landed in a bush of pure comedy. So, grab your popcorn, hit that subscribe button, and let's analyze how Joe Coy completely broke Family Feud. Segment 1. The legend of Steve Harvey versus arena comedy host. Alright, so right out of the gate, the energy is off the charts. Steve Harvey is a legend in stand-up, right? He knows what it takes to tell a joke. But when he looks at Joe Coy, he gives him the ultimate respect. Steve literally says, when you sell out arenas, you are in king territory. Now look at Joe Coy's face. He looks like a proud kid getting a gold star from the principal. But of course, because it's a show filled with comedians, the compliments don't last long before things get weird. Steve tries to pronounce the name of Lydia's charity, Friends of Tapalonga, or something like that. And Steve, with all the confidence of a man who has never mispronounced anything in his life, which we know is a lie, says, I felt in my heart that I nailed it. Bro, you didn't nail it. You didn't even hit the wall the nail was on. But that's the magic of Steve Harvey. He can fail miserably and make you feel like it was your fault. Segment 2. The family introductions. Now, let's talk about family dynamics because this is where the comedy gold is mined. Joe Coy starts introducing his team. He's got his brother-in-law Andre, who is a basketball coach, and his sister Gemma. But listen to how he describes his sister. He says, she runs my business. I don't trust anybody else. When she's gone, everything crumbles. I don't even know how to change a plane ticket. My phone gets disconnected. Honestly, same, Joe, same. If my sister didn't remind me to eat, I'd probably be trying to survive on sunlight and vibes. It's hilarious how a man who can perform in front of 20,000 people in an arena completely freezes if he has to log into his own bank account. That is the definition of a celebrity who is successfully kept alive by his family. Segment 3. Steve Harvey's Guide to Wasting Tuition Money. Host, then we meet Joe's nephew, who is apparently just riding along for the vibes. And this triggers Steve Harvey's deep parental trauma about college. Steve looks at this young guy and goes, people like him don't do good in college. I put mine in there and immediately wasted $40,000. I might as well have set my money on fire. Can we just appreciate the raw honesty of Steve Harvey? The man didn't even blink before roasting his own bloodline on national television. He literally told the dean of the college, I'm just going to take my boy out of school and we're going to go see the world. Imagine being Steve's son, sitting at home, watching this episode, and realizing your dad just told millions of people you were a bad investment. That is savage. Segment 4. Lydia's Mystery Family and the Steve Flex. Now we move over to Lydia's side. Lydia plays Joe Coy's mom in the movie Easter Sunday, and she is lovely. But then, Joe Coy interrupts to drop the biggest, heaviest name drop in the history of television. He gives a shout out to the producer of the movie, Steve. And Steve Harvey is like, wait, who? And Joe says, Steven Spielberg. Look at Steve Harvey's reaction. He says, when you refer to Steven Spielberg as Steve, your life is on a rocket ship. He is so right. If you can call the guy who made Jurassic Park just Steve, like he's your cousin who works at a tire shop, you have officially made it in life. I want that level of confidence. I want to walk around saying, yeah, me and my buddy Elon were just chatting about rockets. But wait, Lydia's family introduction gets even weirder. She starts introducing her nephews and nieces, and she honestly looks like she's not entirely sure they belong to her. She literally says, I'm afraid I'm going to get things wrong. I swear he wasn't kidnapped. Segment 5. The Applied Math Roast and the Blonde Niece. Let's talk about Nicholas, Lydia's nephew. This guy is a math major, and Steve asks him, what does applied math mean? Nicholas, with the straightest face ever, says, it's computer science for people that don't like themselves. Boom! Self-roast of the century. The honesty in this episode is refreshing. But the real highlight is when Steve notices Susanna, another niece. Susanna is standing there, looking completely different from everyone else on the panel. Blonde hair, totally distinct vibe. Steve walks over, stares at her, stares at the rest of the family, and just says, she looks different from the rest of them. Whose mother is that? I know you're wondering what the hell is going on. And then she reveals she is getting a PhD in environmental engineering. Steve's brain just completely melted at that point. You can see it in his eyes. He went from hosting a game show to hosting a family therapy session. Segment 6, the Zoom call pregnancy and the bar sign host. All right, let's get into the actual gameplay, because even the answers were chaotic. The first question is, name something shocking your mom announces on the family Zoom call. Someone says she's pregnant, which is a solid answer. But then the answers start going downhill. They start talking about bad grades, finances, and divorcing the father. It turned into a reality TV drama real quick. But the best part of the main game was the question, name a traffic sign a woman might say when a jerk at a bar says, "What's your sign?" The family gives answers like stop, yield, slow down, all good. But then they get stuck. And Joe Coy, using his ultimate comedian logic, decides that the number 6 answer on the board is definitely railroad crossing. Railroad crossing. Joe, what bars are you going to where women are yelling, "Train is coming"? At, guys? Steve Harvey's face during this was priceless. He looked at Joe like he had lost his mind. And guess what? It wasn't on the board. Shocker, I know. Segment 7, the fireman and the mascot disaster host. But nothing, and I mean nothing, prepares you for the fireman question. Name something from work that a fireman might get in trouble for taking home with him. They guess the hose, the fire truck, the axe. All normal. Then it gets to Gemma, Joe's sister. The pressure is on. She looks Steve dead in the eye and says, "The mascot." Steve stops dead in his tracks. The mascot? Gemma tries to explain that she means a Dalmatian dog. But instead of saying dog, she kept calling it a mascot. Steve Harvey literally took a deep breath, walked over to her, and said, "You're just going to dig the hole deeper." This is why Family Feud is the best show on television. You can be a highly successful business manager for a multi-million-dollar comedian, but under the bright lights of Steve Harvey, your brain will convince you that firefighters are walking around stealing sports mascots. Segment 8, Fast Money. The Banana Conspiracy host. Lydia's family makes it to Fast Money. Nina does amazing, gets 170 points. They only need 30 points from Nicholas to win $20,000 for charity. Steve asks Nicholas, name something you buy the most often at the supermarket. Nicholas says, bananas. Now, when the answers are revealed, it turns out 19 people said bananas. Nicholas is celebrating, but Steve Harvey loses his absolute mind. Steve starts screaming at the audience,
And you sitting up here calling your mama once a month, call your mama some more.
there is no way in hell 19 people said bananas. Who the hell is buying the most damn bananas? All them grapes sitting over there and you bought more bananas than grapes? This show is rigged for celebrities. Steve Harvey fighting the survey results is my favorite subgenre of television. He was genuinely personally offended by the fruit choices of 100 random Americans. But hey, they won the $20,000 for charity, so the bananas saved the day. What was your favorite moment? Do you think people actually buy more bananas than grapes at the supermarket? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe for more hilarious pop culture breakdowns, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Until next time, keep laughing and don't go stealing any mascots. Bye!